I suggested as we went along that we jump into the middle of the story. And that's why I think it's very important not to begin talking about the Bible with regard to Genesis, but that we need to start with where the story itself of the Bible story begins, and that's with Israel in Egypt and the Exodus. Genesis is extremely important, but it's extremely important in light of what God is doing to understand why and how God is doing this. And that's a very important thing as well. So my idea is that we jump into the middle of the story, Exodus. It's a story of redemption, but it's a story of the creation of a people who are going to be located in a particular spot for a particular reason. This is, in fact, the big picture of God. The backstory is Genesis. Leviticus is what it feels like when God moves into the neighborhood. Numbers is signing on the dotted line and how can we test this thing and how elastic is it? And Deuteronomy is projecting it into the future. Now, what I'm going to suggest again and again, too, is that I think there are three levels of literature and authority in the Bible, in each testament. One is foundational, the creation of the missional community. That happens in the Old Testament through the Pentateuch, and it happens in the New Testament through Jesus himself. Secondly, on top of that, are the authorized spokespersons who, as the community moves through history, help guide that community and direct it in a way that is appropriate to this foundational identity. And the third thing, which we're going to start looking at next week, is sort of the community's own reflections on and interpretation of and wrestling with that relationship. Now, that doesn't mean I think that that some of the Bible is less authoritative than others, but there is a kind of initial and then derived authority. We would not know who we are and what we're about if we took the Pentateuch and the Gospels out of the Bible. The rest of the literature is great literature, but the rest of the literature is built upon those two things. 2 times God broke into human history according to the stories of the Bible. 2 times God broke in and established a unique missional identity with the people that he redeemed. That's essential to the story.